Hey everyone, a little behind the schedule today, so I'm gonna kind of jump into it. Might not be as much chitter chatter as there usually is. Literally had something in my head when I was out on my workout and doing my walk that I literally cannot remember now. I should have wrote it down. I used to write everything down. Um, there was a time when I was doing stand up unpaid at a place called Pirate Monkey Radio. It's possible if you do some real serious sleuthing, you might be able to find Griff's stand up out there. I had a tight five, as they say, and not in the dirty way. Um, Injury was looking. I say it was looking better before I went to bed, and now it looks like I wrapped a big uh, set of bandages around it and a brace and slept on it all night, and it just looks worse. Looks like it's been abused slightly. I think it actually is looking better, so that's good. But yeah, I used to write down my ideas back then, and I had these just ridiculous phone like on the phone pages of just a line, an idea. Ghost train, ghost of a train that died, or a train full of ghosts. Like all these weird fucking conceptual things that I wanted to then split into uh, stand up routine bits and jokes. A bit being a joke that you sort of act out versus like, well, yeah, I mean it's basically a joke. Getting bogged down in the exact definition of a bit would probably wreck comedy. So explaining it would make it not funny. Uh, Today was a 4 mile hike. Uh, my pace is about 45 seconds per mile off of what it was when I was like seriously walking hard, eating right, working out as hard as possible when I lost over 100 pounds. Um, I'm still seeing amazing gains regardless, even in my current state, working at it. I guess I literally coming right up on being 2 years ago when I made that decision and then started losing the weight. Um, Not that I don't know that it's been discussed much in any stream capacity or with friends that end up watching this. Why I did that, why I made that choice, and uh, how I made the choice is an interesting thing. Because there's this concept out there in psychology that you're not the boss of you, you're not the slave driver of you. You can't make you do what you want. Of course, you do what you think or whatever. Your actions happen because of your will and yada yada. But they're saying, for a easier to understand example, if you're making New Year's resolutions, you can make them and you can like start them, but can you keep doing them? Most of the time, no. Right? I mean, this is just the standard discussion of about New Year's resolutions is, I'm going to lose some weight, and then people don't, or they lose like a pound and then whatever, they roll right back. Um, that's what I mean when you're not the slave driver of you. You can be like, I'm gonna do this, I want to do that. And just saying it doesn't make it happen clearly, but it also doesn't empower you mentally. Hello, little thing. You gotta come up here if you want to be hanging out. What happened was I had nephews that were no longer miniature eating shitting machines. They weren't just babies. They had little personality. Come on. Goodness. Come here. They had little personalities developing. I saw how they were little people. Little people. They were small people. And oh boy. It'd be great if she would just stay on my lap. And I was like, oh, I get it. Like family, like the way a million things from the Bible to self-help books to Johnson and Johnson commercials for baby wipes and crap. Every crass to the most loving angle tells you like family, man. And you go, well, yeah, I get it, and you relate to it. But then when you see not just the current existence of a family, but the potential, the future, the ongoing family, you go, I saw to myself, I thought to myself after seeing it, I should be present for that. I should do what I can to, and when I want to be present, as people know who have like raided with me or played Destiny or games, I want to contribute. I don't want to just be present. People have tried to like carry me through things. It never works out well because my personality wants to contribute, gets shameful when I can't contribute to the level I want, which basically would be me carrying myself. So there's already a problem there, right? So, but I was like, yeah, I want to be around for my nephews. So what can I do to do that? Well, I can lose some weight and live longer, and then in those cases be healthier and help them more. And it even just little aspects of like I started I got back into my like weightlifting routines so that when they're like, hey uncle, pick me up, give me a piggyback ride, I could continue to do that longer as they got older and bigger. There's also the phenomenon that one of them is about 2-ish, maybe a little bit more years older than the other. So when one of them stops wanting to do something, the other one's going to still want to do it probably for about 2 years. Unless it's one of those things where there's complications that he could be emulating the older brother. So yeah, that was the thing that became prevalent enough in my thoughts to continually encourage me to maintain weight loss disciplines and dietary concerns and exercise. In some regards, you could say I also just had the opportunity. I was afforded the luxury. There's people I know that struggle with weight loss. And I wonder, well, like how? Because they work long hours every day on their feet, lifting things, and we're doing the pronates, supinates now. How they're clearly working their fucking ass off. They must be burning calories like crazy. Is it a medical thing? Do they have? There is, of course. Well, I was gonna say, do they eat too much? The concept that you can't outwork a bad diet. You know, you can't out exercise a bad diet. Maybe the like social pressure of like, let's all get coffees, let's all get fancy coffees with tons of syrup and sugars and calories and chocolate in them. And just like, come on, what, aren't you gonna get them with us? That's rough. Basically peer pressure. Yeah, I mean, if you were on your feet every day lifting 40, 50 pound packages and moving them around and walking around a huge complex so that you were well over 10,000 steps a day just for work, and you basically were a swollen mess, it would be brutal. I don't know what I would do, because after you do all that, do you come home and go on a nearly hour and a half long walk like I just did, and then do a workout and then do a PT? That would be your whole free evening after work. I mean, I would say when I was dating and I met my wife, I also was doing pretty good about losing weight. In general, it's always a combination of weight, exercise and diet. The diet, you need to cut out some things that are just outrageous. I'm not even just talking about like the more fad, but let's not dismiss them. The no carb and all those kind of diet stuff. It's good. It's good to look at like, well, you're eating only 1,000 calories, but it's a bag of chips. It's probably not the thing for you. Probably not the best thing for you. Pretty simple. It's weird because once you have internalized the diet stuff and the carbs and the simple maths and stuff, and then you can say a thing that like people who are where I am or have been where I was are like, well, you know what's bad for you. You can't take out Chinese for lunch every day at work and then pick up Burger King on the way home and then have something at night and then wake up and get a breakfast truck burrito and repeat the whole thing. It's just too much. That can actually be reasonable too. There's like a version of that where you could maintenance it, but I see even at the level I am now, I had cheat days in order to get to where I am, which was generally a weekend day, like a Saturday or Sunday. It was just allowed to double or triple the caloric intake and not monitor whether it was carbs or whatever you want. And that was fine because I saw clear results, three or so pounds a week. Very, very maintainable. It kept off, the weight kept off at the end. And then there were like extra cheat days that happened. People came over and would have burritos and stuff. So now I see, like, even if I don't stick as strictly as that, which you could say wasn't very strict because there were days where I was blowing my diet out of the water, I maintain or just lose like a pound or something. Like, well, that's actually also kind of amazing because like what did I cheat on? Well, we shared like a big family sized thing of M&Ms, or I had like an entire bag of chips, which I just mocked as like, that's probably not good for you, and because then on the other days I maintain, and you don't want to like starve yourself. This is way too complicated for one of these videos, but the idea is you're not the slave driver of you. You find reasons to do it, and the reasons stick with you, and you make a bargain with yourself, and you have to hold yourself to those bargains. So the bargains was, you're gonna have this diet, and the end result is you're gonna lose weight, and then when you do, you should reward yourself. It sounds weird that you're treating yourself like you're two people, but yeah, when you do good, you should reward yourself, and that will encourage you to trust yourself and keep doing the good things. And it does mean, I guess, when you look at it, that the opposite side happens when you do bad and you don't trust yourself. Then you get into that like shame spirals, and then you do the things that shame causes you to do, drink or eat or whatever, self-destructive in these contexts. And the greater context, the generally accepted version of self-destructive. So, try it. What a mess. I'm ending this. We'll see you guys tomorrow.